Shalom. First and foremost, only give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rekahakudash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught me this truth. Peace, blessings, salutations, and mercies to the elect and the one-third remnant out there listening and doing this word with all faith and sincerity scattered amongst the nations and the four corners of the earth. To you I say shalom, Lord willing. This video is edifying. It's going to be sent around this video that you see on the screen, which I'm not going to play, but was just more exposure to the wickedness, of what goes on in these other camps, and this one's concerning once again Gorilla Hebrew, Gorilla Peggy Cuz, and more information is pretty much is coming out about what is really going on, and all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai is being revealed. We're not searching for these things, even this guy Shar Ariala, formerly of the Sakari, he even said he wasn't searching for this, but he, it through the spirit, it got to him and he's bringing it out for us to witness what these guys are really doing when they think nobody sees or nobody is around, and we knew that they were pandering for and panhandling for money, but to the extremities of what's being brought out, who could have ever imagined, right? So this guy Alizé, this is the cash app of the camp, pretty much where camp tithes go, and this guy is sending $42,000 to one of his wives, so he says, right? $42,000. There's a lot of different plights that brothers catch in the truth, most of it is financial, because that's a heavy curse that's on our people. And here it is, people, the men and women in your congregation, they're giving you their money, with the trust that, you're going to do the right things with it. And through, them following the commandment of, giving your tithes 10%. Right? So here it is. It's being brought out that this is what you're doing with the Lord's money. Okay, straight up, folly, right? And misuse. This is supposed to be towards the body. All right. And if you are going to use it, use it on things that you would need, but to be sending it, to be simping it out, to some fucking, woman is diabolical, right? To be added on to the list of different charges that's been made against this guy, right? So if you are part of that organization still, after everything that's came out, something got to be wrong with you, man. Something is definitely, you ain't of the elect, my opinion of it, because how could you still be partaking in a organization that's been fully exposed the way that it has, or that this one has been, right? Because this is crazy. Okay, and it goes to show that these guys, man, they're not genuinely doing the things that they're doing there, or teaching the word. They're doing it with interior motives, right? Whatever it may be, right? In this case, I mean, $40,000 is a lot of money. Some people don't even make that in a year, and he's sending that out This is just one woman. Okay, and then with another woman, you're getting pegged, right? So what's really going on? You know? And this is just another example of what is happening behind the scenes in these different organizations. That's why we are not affiliated with any other camp, right? This is Titus 1:11, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole, you know what, Titus 1:10, for there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision. Deceivers, vain talkers. How are they deceiving? Because they claim it to be leading you and guiding you towards, Yahweh Shema Shai, and they're not. That's why they strip away different things from the doctrine, whether it's the name and the importance of it, or if it's certain laws that they don't want to uphold, or that they're ashamed of, or if it's certain things that they don't agree with, they try to find a reason to excuse it from the whole of the scriptures, right? To better suit whatever narrative they trying to paint, right? And there's no worse nigga than a nigga that know the truth, okay? Because you know better, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses. And this is being shown evident. Whole houses subverted and whole, lives destroyed. How many men and women are being, spirit is being quenched because of the different acts and things that's coming out. Extortion, right? You guys are over there extorting people. You got a Cash App, the Venmo, the PayPal, all the different types of payment processors in every video. And this is where it's going. Here it is a couple years ago, not long ago, somebody broke in the whip and stole the camera equipment and all that shit. You making videos about it, but you sending $40,000 to some chick that you only know in a year, allegedly. That's what's out there, Goes to show you that these guys ain't right, man. Teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake. And this is all for money, for gain, okay? Whether that's clout, whether it's financial, whether it's, whatever intention it is not genuine, and is not because they fear Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay. And it's like the more time that progresses, the more the Lord is bringing out the ugly truth and the skeletons that's in the closets of, these men who call themselves prophets, right? But really, you guys, you're hirelings. This is John 10:12, but he that is an hireling and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep and fleeth. And the wolf catcheth them and scattereth the sheep. See, these guys are they're playing the role of a hireling. Okay. You're misleading and abusing our people for whatever it is you feel that you're going to gain from it, right? But really, you're just going to gain a horrible judgment. Okay, those little goodies that you get in the meantime and between time, they're all gonna, those are just tokens of destruction, right? Those are things that the Lord is giving to you on the left-hand side to only embolden you to continue to be wicked. Ultimately, because he has a bone to pick to pick with you, you know. And it's a scary thing because we all could have came up and, you know, it could have been any of us been a victim of some shit like this, right? Being misled, you know, misguided. That's why we give double honors and we thank Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the Wadi Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, for bringing us up under truly sincere men who's after the heart of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, you know, because this is disheartening. You can only imagine how many people are, you know, then you wonder why so many people are making these videos. I used to be a Hebrew, and then they, you know, of course, a lot of them are bugged out. You'll bug out if you let anything deter you from Yahweh Shai, right? But when you see stuff like this, it's like, damn, man, a lot of blood is on you niggas' hands, right? The hireling fleeth because he is an hireling and careth not for the sheep. And you know, this guy who, you know, who we talking about or referring to, prime example, right? Exhibit A. When shit got hot, the first thing he did was disappear, man. Step down, right? You dipped, folded quick, you know, gave some crocodile tears, and that was it. Right? So how much more when Esau comes? You think these guys are gonna stand bold? And no, man, because they're cowards. All right, they're preying on the most vulnerable of our people. Okay, and our people are the most vulnerable anyway. You know, but those of our people who are seeking out the Lord, they're the scriptures say, you make yourself a prey, right? A prey to who? Esau, and a prey to niggas like this, man. This is Micah 3:2, who hate the good and love the evil. See, they love seeing our people down and out and desperate, because they look at it as a means to capitalize, man. They're worse than Esau, who pluck off their skin from off them and their flesh from off their bones, who also eat the flesh of my people and flay their skin from off them. They're cannibalizing our people spiritually, you know. They're completely destroying our people, what's left of us, right? That's why the scripture said if it weren't for a small remnant, no flesh would be saved, man. Because you got, you got traitors and like this, man, you know, and it's disgusting, you know. So that's a lot of money, man, to be simping out, right, to some fucking harlot, you know. It's crazy as hell, man. You don't think Yahweh Shema Shah gonna see about you, you know? And they break their bones and chop them in pieces as for the pot and as flesh within the cauldron. Right. Eating whole meals coming up off Jake. Coming up. All type, gorilla or gorilla and a Hellcat, Hebrew and a Hellcat. You know, got the different chains. You already got, and you got multiple sources of income, man. You got different. You don't know jumper. Okay, you do debates, right? You these niggas got advertisements, but they rather have. It's not enough for them, right? It's not enough for them to have the things that the Lord gave them. They want it all, man, and they willing to sacrifice their own people to get it, right? They want that name. They want to be reverenced and known in this world, in this society. That's why they own No Jumper. That's why they own these different podcasts, trying to build up their own platform and, using the truth to do so, which is just, it's really, it's angering. This is Matthew 23:25. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, For ye may clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess, right? I'm going to read it in the NIV. Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites. And these guys, they always talking about the law, the law, the law, the law, right? They always pointing the finger. Well, GMS and, well, y'all said that y'all could grape little girls and all this bullshit, you know? But then you peel back, you know, the layers to these niggas, and they doing way worse. We only bringing out we bringing out doctrine, sound doctrine, the truth of the matter. But you niggas are actually out there doing sick, foul shit, man. You clean the outside of the cup and dish, but inside they are full of greed and self-indulgence. That's all, you know. These niggas are selfish, you know. Greedy ass niggas. Who, you know, the worst of the worst. You are the worst kind, right? You sellouts, man. You know, you guys are completely given over to Satan, all right? Making backdoor deals with E like nobody don't see you, man. We see you. You know, the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai sees you, and it's being revealed. This is Isaiah 56:11. Yea, they are greedy dogs which can never have enough, and they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, everyone for his gain from his quarter, right? They all want to capitalize, man. They all want their piece of the pie that they think that they could get off of Israel. They don't see our people and long for them, you know, and long for their suffering and hope for, you know, Yahweh Shai to return and bring us all out of this pit. No, they want to, you know, they want to bury our people as long as they feel like they coming out on top, you know. They look at it as an opportunity, a means to come up, right? They all got interior motives. Come ye, say they, I will fetch wine, because they're drunk, right? Drunk off the blood of our people, you know? And we will fill ourselves with strong drink, and tomorrow shall be as this day and much more abundant, because they don't, in their mind, they don't believe that Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, is making a return. Not in their lifetime, because their actions show it, right? Oh, tomorrow, man, shit, you know, man, in 5 years, we're going to have Nazareth, you know, the land of Goshen, you know, traveling the world, getting tear gassed in different countries and shit, right? Because that's what, you know, that their hopes and desires lie in this world. It don't lie in the return of our Lord delivering us from out of this place, man, and you know, cleaning up our blemishes and, you know, renewing us in those new bodies. You know, they don't hope in that. They don't even believe it, you know. But we do, man. And things like this only show that, you know, and it should give us more faith that the Lord is really dealing with us, and maybe we do got a chance to be that of that number, man. Lord will. And with that, nigga, all praise and the glory to Yahweh Shemal Shabbat Shem Rakakudashwa Abba Abba and DTA DTN.